a cultural foundation in that. Whereas like Western tropical astrology is like this hodgepodge of like Babylon, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Italy, Greece, just stuffed into one thing, all right? And so, I mean, I can read Vedic astrology. Am I good at it? No, but I can do it, you know? And so, Western tropical astrology, that's what I practice. And in Western tropical astrology, NASA doesn't believe in astrology. NASA doesn't practice that. NASA's like, no, we don't do that. But for those of you who don't know, back in the day, back when Jesus was around, you know? So the Greek astrologers had their own little astrological system, and there was about 34 signs, all right? And if you look up this book right here called The Lost Zodiac, you will see the missing 22 signs. I forgot what this one was called. I call it Orochimaru. I call it Ophius Fuchsia. I'd never say the name right. So if you claim this sign, get out. Right, because the thing is, if you claim this one, you have to claim all the other ones. There's like Perseus is a zodiac sign. Yes, for my Percy Jackson fans, yes, Perseus is a zodiac sign. There's Perseus, the bears, a cup. You say what? Yes, that word. I'm glad you remember. You said a word that I didn't hear. What?
Ursa Minor and Ursa Major, the two.
You majored in what? I'm messing with you. So yeah, so that's The Lost Zodiac. That's a really good book. I recommend this every time I do this panel. So before people ask me like, but CD, what about? I don't care about your 13th zodiac sign, you know? But, so these are the actual signs. Now, who are my alphabet mafia in here? My LGBTQ+. There you go. There you go. Hello. So fun fact, but kind of sad fact. All the signs have genders. All right, all of them do. But, who are my Libras? Hi, besties. Hi. So, Libra is actually the sign of trans people. Like, in the mythology of Libra, it was a dude named I think his name was Tiresias. He was a guy. He's like, I wonder who feels more pleasure when baby making happens, men or women. And so he got turned into a woman, lived as a woman for 7 years, got married, had kids and everything, and got turned back into a man. And he saw Zeus and Hera arguing about like, who feels it better? And he was like, women feel it better. And Zeus was like, really? And struck him blind. Zeus is mean, I know. You know, just struck him blind. You know, so even though all the signs do have genders, the gender of the sign doesn't reflect your actual gender. You know, so you could be all Aries, and Aries is a masculine sign. Who are my Aries in the room? Oh wow, no Aries. Just one. Oh hi, hello, lonely human. And you could have like Aries in your entire astrological makeup and be full on born as a woman, and it would not matter. All right. Also, like, just want to establish now, Virgo is the greatest sign in the zodiac. I don't make the rules. But like, to break it down for you, so there's 3 types of zodiac. Well, there's like 7 categories. You have cardinal signs, hello peasants. So, these signs represent the beginning of the zodiac. They're the beginning of each season, all right? So they all represent fundamental beginnings. Some of them have mommy issues, daddy issues, abandonment issues, relationship issues, but I digress. So they're not stubborn, but they don't know what they're doing half the time. And so you've gotta let them figure it out on their own, or else they're never gonna get it. The stubborn ones is Taurus, and Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. All those, raise your hand. My Leo's, Aquarius, hi, how are you guys? These are the fixed signs. These represent the middle of each season, all right? And they represent, what do they represent besides stubbornness? You know, and they represent preservation. They all represent some type of consistency in some way, shape, or form. And here's one thing I found out, guys. Leos are not the narcissists you think they are. They are not. Because I would say, a Leo will be like, tell me I'm pretty. Okay, no, leave me alone. Now, a Taurus will be like, write me a 50-page essay talking about how much you love me, enshrine it in gold, and put it in the museum for the National Archive. All right? Thank you. All right, and Aquarius, it's funny because Aquarius is like, I'm different, I'm unique, you know, acknowledge my uniqueness. And I'm like, if you want to mess with Aquarius, just say, you are so normal. You're just like everyone else I know. You're so easy to understand. You blend in you're so mainstream, you know, and they hate that. Typical, you know. And then the greatest signs, you know, Virgos, Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius, raise your hands. Wow, there's a lot of you. Hi, besties, except for Pisces. Hi, besties. They represent mutable, these are the mutable signs. They represent like potential, you know? So like Pisces is like the emotions that could create new realities. Virgo represents just godliness, God-tierness, just the greatest of all time. Sagittarius represents like the burnout. They're the sign of addiction. But, now when I say addiction, addictive personality traits, like they always go too hard, too fast, too soon. And Gemini. I actually like Geminis. That's not Kanye, you know, or Trump, you know? But Gemini represents like, hard thing. Geminis actually aren't two-faced. What they are is adaptable. So the thing with Gemini energy is that whoever they're talking to in the moment, they're gonna match the vibe, right? So Gemini could be talking to Sailor Moon and be like, hi guys, I'm a Gemini! You know, and then talk to Sailor Mars and be like, I hate all of you. I hate all of you. And it's not that they were trying to be two-faced, they're just matching the vibes of whoever they're around. So if you walk up to a Gemini and they're acting brand new, it's because they met someone brand new. That's why. Does that make sense? Now, if only we could work on their commitment issues, that would be a lot better. But, so, what the heck is a retrograde? Okay. So who here knows what a retrograde is? I'm not gonna rely on you, Jesus. Okay. So a retrograde, scientifically, is when it's a visual illusion, where the planet looks like it's moving backwards when it's not actually moving backwards, all right? And, it happens, Mercury, a year on Mercury is only 3 months here on Earth. That's why you hear about Mercury retrograde so often. Because again, we just hit our 4th retrograde for Mercury starting on December 28th. You know, but all the other planets, like Venus goes into retrograde, Mars goes into retrograde. Technically, if you really want to get technical with it, technically Earth also does go into retrograde, but we're on Earth, so we wouldn't know. You know, Jupiter's in retrograde right now. Jupiter, Neptune, Mars. I think there's one more. Jupiter, Neptune, Mars, and Chiron are retrograding right now. So there's 4. You know, but these retrogrades happen every single year. So if you're always wondering, why is my life falling apart every 3 months? It's usually because of a retrograde. So if you guys need an example of a retrograde in action, so I took a picture of this person's natal chart, all right? So this lady had Mercury in retrograde in her 8th house. 8th house is the house of death. And it's in Libra, the sign of balance and harmony. Can anyone guess whose chart this is? Just guess. Yes! Yes! It's Queen Elizabeth! So those of you who don't know, Mercury retrograde, you can start to feel the effects of it at least a week and a half, 2 weeks before it hits. The retrograde started on September 9th, and she peaced out on September 8th. I'm like, sis, you knew what you was doing. You knew what you was doing. You said, I'm gonna just give one more and then I'm out. You know? So retrogrades and I've just noticed a lot in particular this year, there's been a lot of chaos around there, a lot more chaos than usual. So for example, Mars retrograde, we lost Leslie Gordon, we lost Mrs. Potts, we lost Takeoff. And then during the Mercury retrograde in Gemini, that's when the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial was happening. And does anyone remember January of this year, December of last year, where just all these celebrity couples were just breaking up for no reason, everyone was getting dumped? That was also a retrograde. It was a Venus and Mercury retrograde and Uranus retrograde. It was a lot. I was tired. I cried a little bit, right? Now my favorite part of the panel. Okay. So all my Gen Zs, raise your hand. Wow. Hi, besties. Hi. All my millennials, raise your hand. Guys, give them a round of applause. They woke up today and decided to exist. God bless the millennials.
Have you broken everything?
Does it start on that day?
Yes, it starts on those days. Yeah. Are there any Gen Xers in the room? Oh, one of you. Hallelujah. Do we have any Generation Jones people in the room? Do we have any people whose parents are Generation Jones? Okay. Do we have any boomer parents in the room? Yeah. Well, any people whose parents are boomers. Wow. Are they dying out? Wow. Okay. So, to give you guys an idea, So the way the generations work, Pluto, yes, Pluto is the planet of death and transformation, but Pluto also represents generational trauma as well. So for my millennial, oh, do we have any Gen Alphas in the room? Oh, one of you, hi! And you're next to Gen X, good job, good job, good job. All right, also we're still in Gen Alpha right now, so that baby was technically Gen Alpha. You said what?
She's a shamer.
Someone's a shamer?
No, she's a zinger.
Ah, good job, good job, good job. And so, for those of you who don't know, so Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha, Pluto and Capricorn, this is trauma around dads. To give you an example, who was the first Disney princess to be born during this generation? This Capricorn generation? Just guess. Who said Snow White? Get out! Get out! It was Tiana. It was Tiana, whose dad was dead. Ariel's dad is very much so alive. Okay, you're right. I had to think about that one. And to all my Gen Z kids, this is trauma around school. No child left behind. Who remembers that? That was a time in our history. This is it's trauma around school, around growth, around progress. So if anyone has really bad religious trauma around this time, come on, Jesus. No, or just I don't know what I believe in anymore, CD. What is the purpose of life? That is it. I think that's the whole point of Gen Z, Now, the thing about millennials, what sucks about this generation is that Scorpio is also the sign of trauma. So it's just CD, what kind of trauma does millennials experience? Yes. Just all of it. There is no, yes, I can, I can specify their trauma, but it's just all of it. Just all encompassing. So a common trope I hear from my millennial clients is, Sadie, the boomers told us if we just did this, our life would be better. And it wasn't. And I'm mad about it, CD. I'm well, gosh, what do you want me to do about that? I'm younger than you. I just learned how to rent a car a week ago. All right? And so, for the millennials, sorry, there was a joke in my head. I'm no, I shouldn't say that. For the millennials, it's and there's little sub-generations in between. So, for the millennials, there's only about 2.5. It's 83 to 87, 88 is the first half. This particular generation has a little, let's just say their dad says they might want to go to rehab at some point. The 88 to 94 generations of millennials, they need to take a break. Vacation, leave, something, sleep, something, child. Anything that is not overworking yourself. Anything. And for my one Gen Xer, how are you? Okay, so Gen X, this is trauma around the healthcare system. It's almost like we had a black president or something whose entire term was known for healthcare reform, and whose wife made us eat sweet potato fries in high school all the time. I love you, Michelle, but why? And so both of them are Generation Jones. So you'll notice Generation Jones, I recently did more research about that generation. If you have parents that are born at this time and they're really health paranoid, they became adults at the beginning of the HIV/AIDS crisis. That's why they're super paranoid about that. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense? Oh, I can't see y'all's face, so I can tell you're confused now. Again, blind, remember. So, this right here is a natal chart. Does anyone know what a natal chart is? Oh my God, all 4 of you. 5 of you. Okay, so a natal chart this is actually what I do. This is my job right here. All right, this is a full breakdown of this is a friend of mine, right? And, oh, I love that song. This is when people say oh, what's your moon sign? What's your rising sign? That's what all this actually is, So this is a full breakdown of someone's life. It's almost like a navigation system. So all the stuff you see on the inside of this wheel, that's where all the planets were when they were born. All the green stuff on the outside, that's where the planets are today. So if you ever wonder why, but CD, I look at my chart and how do I know? The transits is what tells you what's coming up, what's coming soon, what's coming next, etc., etc. All right. So who here knows their chart? I can always rely on Jesus, right? Right? So to find your chart, you have to know your exact time of birth. And if you don't know your exact time of birth, you're out of luck, I'm sorry, you know? But some astrologers, they do this thing called a chart rectification. It's when they will literally sit there with you and go through each and every rising sign until they find the one that matches the most, and then they'll go there with you. I can't do that because I'm lazy, all right? But this is the natal chart. Now, what is an interception? Oh wow, that picture failed on me. An interception, I had a visual example, but hold on. So, is my mouse right here? Okay. Hold on. I'll point to shit. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. God, I'm tall. Okay. Okay. So you see this part of a chart right here. Wow, that light is bright. So this is a house. This is like an area of life. It starts in Libra and then just skips over Pisces and goes straight to Aries. Pisces has been intercepted. Some of you have this in your chart. So if you see, some of you, so this person has 2 other houses under Cancer and another 2 under Capricorn. So if you look at your natal chart, and some of these are under, if you have 2 houses under one sign, you have an interception. And it means like this person right here, they have a lack of direction in life. They don't know where they're going next, you know? Gen Z relate, right? That's Don, you're quiet, but I know the truth, right? And so, God, gravity does not like me. All right, so for those of you who really want to understand, like, how can I use this to navigate my life, you have to look up your natal chart. And if you want to, like, come to a professional astrologer, you know, we'll give you the deets and the details on the who, what, when, where, how, why. All right, also, if anyone has any questions, feel free to shout them out at any point in time, or just, like, walk up to this microphone, because I can barely hear you. Jesus, do you have a question?
Yes.
Walk on water to this microphone where I can hear you. Hallelujah.
Hi, okay.
From the top.
There it is. Hi. Nope. Hello. Nope. There we go.
He is risen.
We've got it. Hi. This is a great chat. Why do you choose Placidus over whole sign?
Because I'm black. No, literally, the Placidus house system was created in Egypt, in like as a Wakandan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I prefer to use something that's a little bit more in line with like my own people. Side tangent, I am a descendant of Ramses III. That's not Bible Ramses. It's not Bible Ramses. All right, but like the Placidus system is a little bit more in line with African spirituality and African philosophies,
Right.
and the Placidus system takes a lot more consideration into like where you were born. Whereas like whole houses is way more Greek. It's way more on the Greek side of things. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know, like I use whole sign houses. But like if you're trying to get into more like psychological astrology,
Yeah.
Placidus is where you gotta go.
Agreed. Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, friends, before I continue? Come head them, my child. If you, hey, y'all can just line up behind. What are your pronouns, friend?
Line. Do you want to join me? Okay.
So the question I have is, why exactly do people not like Cancer so much?
So, I was raised by a Cancer, right? Think 6'3" former drill sergeant in the military. And his wife is higher ranked than him. Does that answer your question? Also, it's because Cancer, my honest answer though, is that Cancer, water signs as a whole, have a habit of weaponizing their emotions at times. But again, they're trying to feel their emotions. And sometimes they have to sit with them for a while. And they don't realize they're drowning other people around them. Like the poor fire signs who can't be around water, you know? I feel like someone relates, you know? So like in Cancer is one of those signs where it's like they feel, whatever they feel, they have to feel it. You cannot tell a Cancer to stop expressing that emotion. Even if that emotion is wrong necessarily, they won't realize it until after they've had their little tantrum, you know? So that's why some people don't like Cancers, and my older sister's a Cancer. And I'm the youngest, so you can, my sister's 14 years older than me, so like as someone who has a dad Cancer and a sister Cancer, it's just like, help. Help. My mom's also a Virgo, and she's just like this the whole time. Because she doesn't even try. So sometimes they can take up the emotional space in a room. And again, not all cancers are like bad like this. Again, we all have our moments, we all have our days. But like, that's usually the reason why people don't like cancers. Usually, it varies sign to sign. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Any other questions, friends, before I move on? Okay. Wait, what did I have here? What did I have here? I'm so concerned. No! I'm so sad. I had a thing about like love compatibilities. And now that's so depressing.
Just try Xing out of it, going back to it.
What? Oh, this is racist at this point. Oh, this is racist. Oh wait, offline.
Refresh it. Try that.
Racist at this point. Haven't my people been through enough? I cannot get this working. That's so depressing. Someone create a hotspot, yes. Because I'm sure y'all want to hear about compatibilities. I'm so sad, I literally had a whole thing planned for this. I'm so hurt.
Were you on the ES staff?
What was I on?
They've locked all of the Wi-Fi up behind a password. That's probably what happened.
Oh, that is just racist at this point. Oh my God.
You want my
Yes.
hotspot? I think you can.
Yes. You beautiful human being. Whoever wants to come first.
My name is it's Destin.
We'll figure this out in a minute, friends.
Scroll back.
Right there.
We love technology.